Rahul was 10, eyes bright, smile brighter. His grandfather, we called him Professor. Hair like winter, eyes reflecting years of books read. Professor believed in books. Knowledge is power, he'd say, tapping a worn spine. Rahul, he loved stories. But his classroom was the world outside. Professor would read, Rahul at his feet. Sometimes the boy would wander off. Professor sighed. He'll learn, he'd tell me one day. Professor's study was a haven, rows of books, each a world. He'd trace the words explaining life's mysteries. Rahul, he'd listen, head tilted. The world is a book, Professor would say, and those who don't read live only one page. Rahul, though, he was already turning pages outside. He'd come back, pockets full of treasures. A smooth pebble, a feather, a ladybug crawling on his hand. His stories were different. One day, Professor was teaching about patience. Rahul was in the garden watching ants. Professor followed. What wisdom do you find there? Rahul pointed. They work together, carrying things bigger than themselves. Professor paused, his book forgotten. A simple observation, yet profound. Another day, it was about resilience. Professor quoted philosophers. Rahul, he pointed to a plant pushing through a crack in the pavement. Life finding a way. Professor was explaining hard work. Rahul was watching an ant trying to move a grain of rice, much bigger than itself. He picked it up, placed it near the ant's home. Professor saw, why did you interfere? Rahul, the ant was working hard. It deserved help. Professor pondered. Was helping others not the essence of hard work? He realized Rahul's lessons weren't in books. They were in the rustle of leaves, the ant's struggle, the flower blooming in the sun. Life's poetry. Section 5, Wisdom in Simplicity. The professor continued his lessons, but now he listened more. He sat with Rahul, watching sunsets, listening to bird song. He started noticing. He saw the way sunlight danced on leaves, the patterns in a spider's web, the resilience of a weed pushing through concrete. The world was alive. Rahul's lessons were simple, yet profound. They weren't about grand theories, but about observing, feeling, experiencing, living, not just reading about it. Section 6, Changing Perspectives. Professor started spending more time outside. He'd help Rahul plant seeds, watch them grow. He learned the names of birds, the feel of earth in his hands. His gaze softened. He started seeing the world not just through the lens of knowledge, but through the heart of experience. A different kind of learning. He'd still read to Rahul, but now they discussed the stories differently, connecting them to their own experiences, finding